First thing, you might be able to hear the fan in the back because it's about 4 million degrees in here tonight. It's 24 degrees outside and about 99 million% humidity, but not as warm as it is in Cambridge, probably. Now, that's Kelvin Fagan. It's a different guy altogether. He was a photographer from Cambridge University. Good evening, Kelvin. Nice to see you. It's not Mr. Mark Fagan from the US of A. I think Kelvin now works in M&S. If you want your photos taken, Shrek, there you go. Billy Lee, good evening to you. I just thought I'd do a live stream, to be fair. I thought I'd do it on here for a change. A few more subscribers on here now, so it might be somebody to talk to. I bought a big bag of stuff from... First things first. We need a thirst quencher, because it's so bloody warm in here. I've only brought one up, just in case. Good evening, John Paul. Nice to see you, mate. Slightly different on here. Not really vape related, just everything else really. I've been sweating mother off. Ooh. I think he's no longer with us, is he? Yeah, I keep watching you on Facebook, Colin, with your Audi and your Rover, and it's not very often I comment on anything that you do, but I do keep... Kelvin was sort of... Was it Blab or something, Kelvin, where we first met? With Fraser Ramsey. Goodness sake, football is on and you're doing it live. Yeah, well, that's exactly it, really, isn't it? Good evening, Taximan 2002. If you're on TikTok, I want you to go straight there now, well, after this anyway, and follow Taximan 2002 to get some marvellous views of Glasgow as he's riding around in his taxi. He's gonna get a little bit braver soon and start talking, but he is broad Glaswegian. We've only ever spoke once on the phone, but we've been mates for about 10 years through Twitter and all sorts of things. But we've only actually spoke once ever, and it was a little bit. He's got a broad accent, shall we say? No, don't do that. Not on here, Christ. So, cheers. Let's have a beer. See if I can cool myself down a bit. I've been having a bit of audio trouble with this computer, so I've just received two brand new microphone cables. These are corded ones. And I've switched them in, and it's still got the same problem. So I've put both the leads together and put that little fethead thing out the way so it doesn't start the buzz. 14 years we've been friends. Started on, it must have been Twitter, wasn't it? He's another guy like me, likes to go on holiday as much as possible. And I think not in the not too distant future he's going to go stateside, so we can look forward to some TikToks from there. Anything else? Everybody saying hello to everybody else. So 476 subscribers. I think some of it to do obviously with that video I put up about my daughter on this channel, or about the me and my daughter on this channel, and a lot of people have joined since then, which is really nice. Whether they'll stay when they find out what it's really like, where some old bald guy looking at things from Temu, maybe not. One thing I did do the other day, though, I actually managed to take the plate off the back of the microphone and turn it the right way up. It's a bit like it's Christmas. So nearly 7 months, 9 weeks on Tuesday, but who's counting now? We've got something else coming up in September, where somebody heard about us getting robbed when we were in Spain, and I think they've offered us some accommodation in a different area of Spain. But more on that when we get to it. You're only going to Yorkshire? Oh, Kelvin, Shrek lives in Wakey, so if you want to go and stay at his house for a week, I'm sure he'll do it for free. You can save a lot of money there. You can visit Wakey Wines, and he'll take you on a grant. He's actually a bus driver, so he'll take you on a guided tour. So my favourite beer in the absolute world. Don't start before everybody's going to say, "Oh no, tramps drink that." Well, they've got a good choice, good taste. So, but this is now down to 7.5% from about 12 originally, and they've just made a very, very nice, strong Danish beer. Winston Churchill used to drink this for breakfast, and we did quite well in World War II. Whereabouts in Yorkshire are you going, Kelvin? I know you stop in cottages and things like that with your little dog. Yeah, it's short, yeah. They've been doing the thing today. I've been watching quite a lot of TikToks since Taxi Man started putting them out there, and they were on about Bingley Mega Chippy. And they showed you walking past it. There's about 2 people sat in there waiting for fish and chips. And he went straight past it and went to a carvery next door. It's amazing how these things have a really short time valid on any of these social media things, isn't it? A bit like me, probably. 14 years, I can't believe that, Amish. That's crazy, isn't it? That is absolutely beautiful. Anybody but can drink 4 cans of that is a lot stronger than I am. I've got to put my little thing up, otherwise they get moody. I did a live stream on my vape channel last night, and they actually put it behind the age gate for 18 plus. Not sure why they've done that, because the week before they actually give it monetization on it. But you never know what's going to happen with YouTube, because they're a bit like that. I suppose they're a law unto themselves. Kirby Moorside, now I don't know where that is. Near Pickering, all. Oh, there, yeah, excellent. I've never been there, you know. I would like to go there. Flamingo, up there, yeah. I ain't been to Flamingo Land since I was a kid. But I quite fancy that, because there's that place where you can go and have a pint in the pub in there, and the police car's parked outside, and everybody's got a photo of it. Is Emmerdale filmed around there somewhere, or am I completely in the wrong area? I love Scarborough. My neighbours are in Scarborough at the minute. Tom Jones is playing in the Outside Theatre this week, I think on Thursday. So my neighbours have gone there for a week. They stay up near the Grand behind there. Pickering, not Ronnie. I'll tell you what, he'd be a good crack when he interview Ronnie Pickering. Yeah. He's still about. There was a car crash somewhere near that pub where he normally drinks in, and there's him stood outside watching him, like, just having a pint. But you Ronnie Pickering. I've never ever been to Whitby. The reason being, it's too far to go for a day. Right, yeah. Even Bridlington now, because as soon as you get across the Humber Bridge, it's 50 mile an hour all the way to Brid. So you get there at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's all a bit pointless, isn't it, really? Emmerdale was done near Leeds, yeah. They actually built their own purpose-built village for it, didn't they? In the end. I used to absolutely love that programme when it was Emmerdale Farm, when it was about farming. I used to absolutely love All Creatures Great and Small as well, with Linda Bellingham and that. But the news modern soaps are always looking for the next headline, and it just gets a bit boring. I think they've just introduced the first transgender actor or character in Emmerdale now. I just wanted to know about farming, about tractors and stuff like that. A1659 from Pickering to Whitby, great drive. I remember, the road to Scarborough is lovely, isn't it? But so the trouble is now, most of it's bloody 50 mile an hour, and when you've only got a day to do it, I mean, we use all our holidays up going to Spain and that. So, I ain't really got a few days to go and stay away in Scarborough, so I just want to go. Sometimes we used to go in the winter and then just go and have lunch and then drive back, but obviously with Lou not being very well, a lot of the time's taken up with that. I was just, my granddaughter, the second to youngest one, she's been to swimming. Her dad takes her swimming on a Monday, so he meets her here and then takes her there and then brings her back. I've just took her home, and I was just fitting my new mic cable when she came back. I says, come up here. Anyway, we did a video and sent it to her mum through Facebook. She was absolutely made up with it. Hello, Mummy, I love you. 2 of them 3 litres. Oh, 2 special brews and 3 litres of cider. Is that before you got into a meeting? I bet that was the proper stuff in them days, though, wasn't it? Because it used to be like 12 and 13%, I think. Mark was saying. Mark from Clun, he was saying. And he said it used to be fairly thick as well. It was a fair old drink. But I was watching that thing with Gary Altman as Churchill the other week, and he was doing. He used to drink it, didn't he? And he used to drink whiskey for breakfast with his bacon and eggs. I just like it. I used to sort of mix it in with a couple of cans of Carlin and stuff like that, but I'll just have 2 or 3 of these now, and it's plenty, to be honest. Joe's been a coach driver, you know, you get to learn all the places, plus I do VIP. Oh, right, exactly. Oh, that's interesting then. It's not very often we get to go out that. I did a Mablethorpe the other week, which is only the second time ever I've picked up from there. Which is, to be honest, is one of my favourite places in the world. We always used to go there as kids. And I absolutely love Mablethorpe. The only trouble is there, yeah, cheap and full effect. Yeah. I get this stuff at £2. I think £2 a can. They got a Spar, it's about £3 a can, I think, £3.20 a can. But so when I first started drinking it, the first night I had 6. I thought I was going to take off. But it would be fun to do a review on, wouldn't it, really? Another thing I found while I was in Spain was the little version of their Jim Beams. And I was in Lidl, and I couldn't be bothered to go to another shop to buy a bottle of whiskey, and I thought, I'm going to try this, because it was only a tenner for a standard bottle. And it was just as good as what Jim Beams is. It was fantastic. I've got to go. Must catch up sometime, Mick. Keep following me on Facebook and Instagram. I don't know about Instagram. I don't do a lot of that. I have got an Instagram account. I think you are on there, but I rarely look at it. We'll have to get on here one day if you've still got your computer set up and do a bit of a catch up and do a live stream. If you're interested in doing that. I don't know if you've still got the setup from back in the day. So I think it was Blab. That's where the first time I ever met you. I've still got Guy Cook on as well with his Cook report. £1 a can. So if you go to Spar, it's £3.30 with the ABV tax. I love the stuff in Lidl's in Spain. They've now done a IPA, which is about 8%, and it's absolutely banging. And Sue thought the other day she got some of the cheap stuff from work, and it was IPA, but it was not on the same planet as that. It was an Imperial IPA in Spain. The stuff she got was bloody awful. Mick says like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. I'm desperate. No. I think when you first start doing live streams, that's all you seem to come out. I was on about it once with Aidan, and he was saying, you know, you're staring at the camera like it's going to bite you, and he just keeps saying, like and subscribe, like and subscribe. It's a weird old thing. So my idea really would be to get this up to 1,000 and start putting different things on here and actually getting paid for it. Yeah, so I've got him on my thing. He comments on some of my Facebook stuff. I've also got Fraser on there, and I think Fraser is now subscribed to this channel because it actually came up as his Hat-Trick and Ramsey, I think, account that's subscribed to this channel. So hopefully I'd like to get him on as well. Hello, Mike, how you doing? Nice to see you, buddy. Thanks for coming in. Surprised there's so many people about, to be honest. Your worst fear is, I mean, it's quite easy to talk to 10 people on a live stream, but when there's nobody to actually speak to and react to or you know, have a bit of fun with, it's not the easiest thing in the world when you've only got a few subscribers. It's quite easy on the vape channel because you always seem to get, 20, 30 people or 20 people in minimum. Although they put that one last night behind the age gate, so it's only had 107 views now. But normally those build things get right up there. They get really well. I really cannot be bothered with the like and subscribe. Don't want the pressure, people. So I don't. All right. I think I say that it's a lot of the stuff that I put on the vape channel doesn't get any AdSense at all, because obviously what it is. But say if you could get up to 1,000 on this one, they push you out a lot more, and so you get a few more views, and you can actually make a reasonable amount of money at it. But So with the vape thing, it's pointless because they don't give you AdSense. Although it is surprising on some of the live streams that you do make. I did one taking the top off a Vapresso, and it's made like £3. You don't expect it to make anything because they're saying AdSense, and it made £3. But I think it's one of them, isn't it? You might as well have somebody to talk to if you're doing something. That is absolutely gorgeous. Anyway, for anybody that saw the one on the Temu clock, it's a fantastic item, but it doesn't dim down when it's not when you've used it. There's no button on it to press on the top, so it's always on full chat. So the batteries last about 12 hours in it. So really, if you haven't got an electrical connection, it's probably not the thing you want to be buying. But I actually liked it. I think it's really, obviously, it's quite smart, isn't it? You can fasten it on the wall, but it's very, very clear. I really liked it. I would like to extend the wire and fasten it on the wall behind me. I think it would be really good. Do one. Do anything you want on your channel, because that's the way it is. Obviously, with the old e-cigarettes now, there's a lot less stuff coming out to us, but you've got to fill if you want to carry on with your YouTube, you need to get people to watch your stuff. So just do what you want. That's the main thing, isn't it, really? So I'll just show you what I've got left. Not much of anything really, not really enough to do a review on. Let's see if there is anything. That was that was quite smart. Let's just show you that. That got some decent views as well. That apparently you can buy the actual real thing on Amazon. Everything is a knockoff fake. But that just for doing your sideburns or your hairs in your ears or wherever you want to do, trimming your neck after you've shaved your head. Oh, that's a cracking device. Sorry about the crackling. Sorry in advance. Actually got some, that's that sort of Velcro-y type cable wrap. Yeah, I quite enjoyed doing that, Mac, to be honest. But I've started putting that Lego thing together. I don't want to keep banging on about it, but it was soon after Lou was diagnosed stage 4, and I got to a point with it one day and I just couldn't get it to go together, so I got really mad and took it all apart. That's one thing with this job, you just every now and again you have a bit of a paddy, shall we say. These are absolutely brilliant. If you've got if you drive, especially if you're driving like we use Shrek, driving different buses or anything like that, if you've got that stuck to the back of your phone, that clips into your air vents, and it gives a real tight connection. You can turn it upside down, put it in, and it's absolutely bloody brilliant, that thing, to be honest. And that was about 50p or something ridiculous, and perfect for somebody that, like a relief driver for buses or lorries or something like that. Yeah, that's that sort of Velcro cable tidy that you could put all your cables together, wrap it round, and keep them all tight. I don't know why I bought this. I thought this was something else. I thought this was one of them snazzy wallets, but in actual fact it's one of them things that you fasten to your suitcase and put tags in, I think. I don't know, it's probably a card wallet when you think about it. But I must not have been compass mentis when I bought that, to be fair. Oh, you don't have air vents. Shave your bounds. Get your bounds shaved. This is a something. I can't even remember buying this, to be honest, but apparently I did. You must have air vents. This is a pen. I'm not sure why it's got a brush there, but I can't even remember what it is without looking through the thing, but I don't think it was what I thought it was. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have bought it. The reason I bought everything was because I just wanted to show something on the channel. So that's the basics of the stuff. I bought is that a Type-C? I bought a Type-C charging cable as well. Oh, right, so it's no good to you then. But like if you were driving somebody else's cab, obviously nowadays the problem you've got is, well, that's a nice corded Type-C charge cable. Let me just show you this. Too good to miss. Right, let's do a thing. Put me out of the way. Oh no, I want to be here. I just want to be here. Transition. You can stick it on the window then. How's that? How about that? Right, so. And now I know why I bought this. Because I want to throw it in my cab to charge my vape up. Corded Type-C charging cable. I love these. This new microphone cable I've just bought is corded as well. Real good quality, that. I had a iPhone charging cable. I think I ended up giving it to one of my grandkids, to be really honest. But I can't swear to it. And that's why I bought that. Now I know why I bought it. I kept thinking, what on earth will I buy that for? But that's going in the cab for charging vapes up. An iPhone 15s when I get one. If I ever do. Also there's this. Obviously you could connect that to this. Type-C 3.1s. So it's super. Then that must be a fast charging unit that fits in your. I was too lazy to go outside and do a review on this. I think that's the real thing. It feels. You're always a bit worried, aren't you, when you buy some electrical type thing? It feels alright. I don't think it's going to drop to part. What's that then? Why does that's spinning? Is it me or is it that? Seems alright though, doesn't it? I probably won't leave anything plugged in the house with it. You need a power supply for that, wouldn't you? Oh, it's that that's spinning. I couldn't work out what was spinning, to be honest. I was thinking, is it dropping to bits? Why you'd need that to spin, I've no idea, but it does. So 3.1 amp, and then I think it actually tells you on the site how fast it. But if you plug that in there and then plug that into your iPhone 15 or your Samsung with your fancy Type-C charging port, you'd be up in no time. And it's also got the Type-C at the top there. Oh look, and you can see it's actually got one of them. Tells you what it's doing. Tells you what it's charging at. That wasn't very much money at all, but probably worth it. That might actually be worth plugging into the car and doing a proper review on. We'll see how fast that goes. What else is there? I need to mop my fevered brow. It's so bloody humid here. It's awful. We're getting air conditioning fitted. I know I keep saying it, but we are in the upstairs because we've got a load of noisy dogs out the back. And they wake you up when you're on nights. So that's extender. And you can switch them off individually to stop them charging. That might be worth a full review as well, really. Depends how long the cable is, if it'll reach the computer. There's about 1.5 foot of cable on it. Should be a fair thing, shouldn't it? Really? Why you'd need to switch it off, I've no idea, because surely you'd just unplug it, wouldn't you? And then it's got LEDs on the other side. No branding on it or anything like that. Oh, no ports. USB 2.0 high-speed hub. And I said this came off Temu as well, and they cost nothing. Stuff just costs nothing. But again, until I tried it a few times, it's not the sort of thing that you charge something up with and leave it plugged in your house when you weren't watching it, is it really? Because that's always a bit of a fear of mine, isn't it? Something been thrown together in China and ends up as setting your house alight. That clock was the worst thing to set up, to be honest, but once you got it going, it was magic. I was really impressed with that, how clear it was, especially if you got if you like Connor with a little bit of sight difficulty. It was very clear, really big. So that's about everything I've got to show you from there. But I'm really impressed with that corded Type-C charging cable. So that's about it, really. How long have we been on? Half an hour, not too bad for a lad. Make sure you like and subscribe if you're watching this on the replay. Because I want to be a millionaire through YouTube. I watched the saddest thing in the world yesterday. I came in last night, I was just sat in the kitchen. And it was 3 teenagers in Reading in 2020 that had ended the life of one of the friends. One of their ex-friends. And it was awful, really, that. I don't know why I'm telling you about it, but that's how awful it was. Some of the things you see, it was on a Channel 4 thing. I actually subscribed to it as well, to be honest. It showed you all the things that were going on. But apart from that, the fascinating thing was how they got all their information from these kids' phones, even the ones that had deleted apps to get rid of all the data. They went on and went into all the other kids' phones that hadn't deleted all the data and got it out of there. It was amazing what they did, and brought them all to justice. But what a sad world when you've got kids that are doing that. And it was all over, the argument was to do with one of the kids had done one of those videos where they go and beat somebody up and then put it online, and this other kid had shared it with the lad's family. And all the little gangsters got together, and now they've ended up doing loads of prison. You can't believe it, can you, really? In our day and age, if you had a fight with somebody, it was... I was brought up in a village, and it was talk of the village, you were in trouble from all sorts of parents for fighting. I don't want to moan it's warm, but it's warm. The only problem is with this room, it's only small. And in the summer, it's really warm. And in the winter, it's really cold. And we haven't got any central heating upstairs, so that was my idea. I'm going to point up there, but you can't see it. They're going to put an air conditioning unit there, so it'll cool it down in the summer. And I'll be able to use it as a heater in the winter. And it'll be bloody fantastic, and I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, yeah, it was sad, wasn't it, John Paul? It was, I don't know, as a parent, and they were interviewing his mother, and you just think, wow, you know, like what we're going through with basically a disease is shocking. But for your little lad to go out, he was supposed to be going to meet a young girl to smoke cigarettes with her. And she dragged him there on purpose so these lads could beat him up. And one of them just thought he'd take a knife, and he'd got loads of Instagram photos where he'd been with a knife and stuff like that. Thought he was a young gangster, you know, all this bullshit. And he got into his head he was some sort of gangster. And then I don't think, to be honest, I don't think any of them were bad kids, but they are now. and now it's wasted 4 lives, because they got 3 of them. They got one of them, and then they got the other 3 of them through the phone thing. So did they only get 3 of them in total? Yeah, she basically set him up, but she was 14. You know what I mean? And you just think, are they that bad? You don't know. It's easy to look at social media and think, yeah, they are that bad. But these are like Reading, and I don't think they were that bad. I think they just got completely out of the depth. Have I got a fan? I've got a fan over there, but the only trouble is with this microphone, Mike, is that if you get it too near, I had it a bit nearer, and it was blowing at the microphone. So I'm hoping with that being up there, apparently you don't really feel a lot of draft off them, and I should be able to use it while I'm streaming. Either that or give it a good chill down, turn it off for a bit, and then put it back on. That's how they catch adults out as well. Yeah, that's right, exactly, yeah. I mean, I watched another thing. I do watch loads and loads of YouTube with the gaps in between the jobs. And they all got on that, all the criminals got on that thing that was supposed to be encrypted, didn't they? And all of a sudden the French police cracked that, and they just unwound everything, and they just went round and locked them all up. It's like, oh yeah, come on. Why is that? Well, we know what you've done now, and it's here. All your text messages are here and all that. I can't remember the name of the app they were all using, but it was supposed to be that secure. Nobody could crack it, so they're all using it as if nobody would ever crack it. But they got them all with it. They got loads of them. And they got all these. They'd all got loads and loads of porridge. They're giving some right, drug dealing and stuff like that. They're giving some right sort of porridge out, aren't they? 30 years, and you think, Christ. I mean, I don't know. They never said the sentence for them young kids, because I presume they're not adults, are they? So they can't be sentenced. But they'll do a fair amount of time for that, I would have thought. But not as much as his mother will do. And the poor young lad, he's gone, isn't he? Yeah, I think you're right, mate. Yeah, I think that's what it was. And like the young girl, she was 14, and they make a lot of big statements on a text message that they wouldn't follow up in real life. But one of them had just it took it to. I think sometimes when you're watching fantasy violence, you don't realise that it's like one punch and you're out. They did that, didn't they, in Australia? Because the amount of people have an altercation outside a nightclub when they've been drinking, and one takes a swing and the other one just decks him, and he hits the floor and dies. They've gone out for a drink and they've ended up with 25 years, and you just think, God, how sad. And it's a complete accident. But that's it. It's the same with the old nose candy, isn't it? You watch a lot of films and they're cutting it up with a gold card and snorting away, and it does glamorise it. I've never actually took it myself, but as a young, impressionable teenager, I would have found that difficult to turn down. And I've seen the other side of that. When you actually see the no bills getting paid, and mental health problems, and a flat full of cat shit, and that type of thing. That's the real side of that. And they should they should put more like that. They always put down that heroin is going to ruin you, but they never put down that they always glamorise cocaine, and it's just as bloody bad. Same as fet. My lad's 37. He's got no front teeth because of fet. It's ridiculous. But, that's the way it is, isn't it? Anyway, on that happy note, what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? on a happier note, Rishi Sunak's trying to stop him vaping disposables. Stupid boy. I think he's about done anyway. Anyway, I don't normally talk about politics, but if you want to say that you were thinking of Obviously, if you don't want to. I was once talking to a guy that was in the RAF, and he was in there for years. And he said, if anybody ever talks to you about religion or politics, he said, my politics and my religion are mine. And he probably wasn't far wrong, because you can have an argument about anything, can't you, really? You know, if somebody's staunchly enough the other way. But is there anybody that has voted for Sunak? I mean, to be honest, we're in a farming community, and that's the way it's gone. Edward Lee's been in the West Lindsey area, well, in Gainsborough. He's been the MP round here forever and a day. So I was just checking that, drop frames, it looked different from over there. But I don't think he's got much of a chance this time, to be really honest, because I think everybody's sick of him. But that's always been the way we've voted. Farming communities have always voted for Conservatives. And normally, you've always seen in farmers' fields big placards saying vote Conservative, because that's what they've always done. But this time, I haven't seen any. My daughter's got a sign outside her house saying vote Labour. And I had the sudden urge to set fire to it, but I thought, well, she's entitled to her politics if that's what she wants. Wars are started on money, religion, and politics. Yeah. But I'd say I just thought it'd be interesting. I'm honestly thinking of voting for somebody different to what I normally do. Well, yeah, I don't think you're far off with that either. I mean, there's a big saying that they all shit in the same pot, don't they? And they all do the same thing. But it's amazing. I find it amazing that when you're seeing debates between these people, and the one that's been in power for 17 years going, we're going to sort the NHS out. I think, well, you've had 17 years. And they used to do a series on the telly called 24 Hours in A&E, and now they can't do it anymore, because that would just be you sat in the chair waiting to get in there. Yeah, Clarkson Farm's brilliant. Yeah, I love it. Any farmer will tell you that Clarkson and Matey Boy have done more for farming in the last three episodes, in the last three series, than what people like Country File have done all the time they've ever been on the air. What they've actually done is they've actually shown consumers how much money a farmer actually makes. It's really easy to see a farmer in a beautiful Range Rover or pickup or something like that, but what you don't realise is he's right up to his overdraft limit, and they sell a bit of land every now and again just to square him up, because everything's set up so they can't actually make any money. They're penalised at every corner, and it grieves me, because I say we're from a farming community. You go in Morrison's and you got the option of buying the milk that's 25 pence more to donate to the farmer. And you think, well, if you didn't rob him on his price, there'd be no need to. You know, I mean, why should 4 pints of milk be a quid? You know, it should be 2, and the farmer should get 150 of it. That's the way it should work. He should be making his money. Or, it should, you know, if it's 2, I can't remember how much it is now. Is it 140 or something? But it's put down too low, so they can't actually make any money. And they rear pigs, and they sell them for less than what they've reared them for. It's ridiculous. My brother-in-law is a very, very rich. Well, that's right. Yeah. And I didn't realise, you know, when you got that manager bloke was turning up on Clarkson's farm, how they have to plan these crops, and they look at the downside and the upside and the forecasts, and it was done to explain to consumers that, you know, it is possible to put a full crop in and never get anything off it at all, not one thing, you know, and the seed's all gone. And Caleb, that's it. What a nice guy. But he lives and breathes it, doesn't he? He absolutely lives and breathes farming. And I was watching an interview with Clarkson. He said he didn't give a shit what he says to me. He said he just goes in full tank. He said that is what you see on the thing is actually exactly what he's like. And he said he just don't care. You know, I mean, Clarkson's had people, when he's been doing Top Gear and that, he's had people sucking up to him for years. But Caleb just treats him as somebody to be sworn at. I think it's CALEB, but we'll not hold you against it, right? Because I might be wrong. but I don't think I am. I think it is Caleb, spelt with a C. But he's an inspirational guy. I mean, he's really got the, he cares. And I remember my dad was a farm worker, and his dad owned a farm for until it had to go after my granddad died very early on. His brother took it over. But when they used to plough a field, they used to plough it dead straight because all the friends would be driving past on a Sunday. That was the thing. It was, and then you met them in the pub, and you didn't plough that 10-acre very straight, and it was always a bit of a pride thing where ploughing had to be done dead straight. Everything had to be right. You when you sowed seeds, the corn had to be straight as it were coming up. Otherwise, they would ridicule you in the pub. All right, yeah. When they celebrated, sorry, I've got that bloody thing there. I don't know why they haven't took that away. Yeah, there's. I went. There was a chef on the telly called Rachel Green. She does. I went to Ali Pali with her once. She's a lovely woman. I can't really sort of offer her any sort of service nowadays because she needs you for like 15 hours once every few weeks. So I've got enough on with what I run. But we went all round Lincolnshire with some chefs and went just looking around, looking at different crops and stuff like that. Went all around Mablethorpe, Sutton-on-Sea, everywhere. Went loads of places. And then I also went to Ali Pali with her. She was doing demonstration cooking there. And Charles, before Charles was King Charles, him and Camilla came, and I'd just gone for a kip, so I missed them both. Lovely people. Yeah, that's right, yeah. Oh, that's exactly right. Shrek. It's people sort of, they had a lot of pride in what they did. I think it was it's the same with the cabs. We've got a marketplace, and I drove through the marketplace one Saturday night, and by Tuesday I got a letter through the post saying, well, don't go through there again, otherwise it'll be a ticket that comes through the post. And so I never went through again, and then all of a sudden everybody's going through there, and then if you'd picked up off the rank and didn't go through the marketplace, they say, oh, you're taking me the long way around. So I've joined them. In the end, I had to join in. It was the same with the meter I've got in my car. I'd always use a traditional mechanical meter, well, electric, you know what I mean, but and every time that you want to change your car, it costs you a couple of £100. And then they invented an app on a mobile phone, and to download it is £17. And that's you done for life. You can even move it onto a different one. I'm like, well, I couldn't really use one of them. But now when you change your cab, all you need to do is I fastened one of these. These were good. If you ever looking to fasten anything to your car dashboard, like a phone or anything like that, ignore the sticky bit on the bottom because that's a waste of time. But if you get some decent adhesive and stick one of these on, and then one of them rings on the back. I've actually got my meter stuck one of them, which is an iPhone 10, I think. You have to have it onto permanent charging. But it's even rigged up through the card machine now. So you press the total at the end, click the card machine thing, and it puts you straight through to there and takes the payment. You haven't even got to load it in. So it's off speed. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, we're Acne, so it's on that. But to be really honest, it's the best thing I ever did. I got my cab set up, took the first aid kit underneath the thing in the boot, screwed the fire extinguisher in, stuck the meter to the dashboard, took it for a test, and that's all I did. Done in 20 minutes. Used to be one of the worst things about getting a new cab was to I'd gone have to spend a day with a meter technician checking it out and putting it back in. It was an absolute pain. It was one of the worst days, most boring days of your life. watching him rip your brand new car interior out to fit the meter in. These just work off GPS, and they're absolutely spot on every time. In fact, some people, I mean, there's quite a few people where it charges them a little bit more than my other one used to, because I know what the fare used to be. But there's a few people it actually charges them less, because the old mechanical way was measured this and measured that. This just charges them for what you've done, rather than the other 50 feet that they didn't do. So some of it works out cheaper. It changes over to tariff 2. It knows all the bank holidays. It knows all Christmas. It knows absolutely everything. It's bloody brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. So I can't. That's it. That's me done. You know, I'm not going to. If ever I change a car, I'm not going to do that. Here's another thing I found out today. My Skoda that I bought a while back. I bought it in March, and then we quickly worked out that it's nearly 5 years old. Well, on a Skoda, since time immemorial, they've been saying that a timing belt needs changing at 5 years or 100,000. Now they've just, over the last 6 months, changed the guidelines. It needs to be every 10 years or 150,000. So basically they're saying that these cam belts aren't wearing out. And they're under warranty up till 5 years. So if that one of mine now snaps before September, it's under a Skoda warranty. It's as a warranted part. But that's it. Took a brand new car for a taxi test. Took it back to the garage. They failed. Did you really? Bloody hell! I know there was a company called Cropley's at Boston used to do Protons. I don't know if you remember them. I think they were sort of Mitsubishi engines and stuff like that. And they were a cracking motor, but she gets it over all the way from Boston, and it had got a fault on one of the indicators. She had to drive all the way back to Boston to have the fault sorted out and come back and have it tested on a brand spanking new car. I wonder what it failed on. Can you remember? Did they really? I don't remember that. I think I do remember that. I used to drive this. It was a 5-speed petrol. I think it was a 1500 petrol, and it was absolutely sweet. It was a cracking motor. It wasn't mine. I used to drive for a different company then. They were the company who I started my taxi driving with, and that was I don't know. I think it's 30 years, over 30 years now. Anyway, Shrek. I think there's only me and you left. So, it's been... how long has it been? How long have we been here? 51. Let's do another 9 minutes. Might as well make it the hour if I'm going to do it, and really. And then I'm going to pull that fan in a bit nearer and give it some woof, because it's getting pretty toasty in here. So this wall gets warm all summer, which is it's only a small room. And the top floor really does get warm, but in the winter this wall is absolutely freezing when the wind blows on it, and it's bloody cold. Side lighting, CV boot, insecure drives. Wow, and a brand new one. Bloody hell. I've never had it with this Skoda. They've always you take them to the garage and they have to give them a full test, because otherwise if there is anything that's wrong with them, you'd be in trouble. But I took one once, a brand spanking new, 20,000 quid, 21,000 quid, Skoda Octavia, 2 litre, DSG, fairly well up the model range, absolutely beautiful, brand new tyres on it. Pulls it in the thing, and he's going underneath tapping the exhaust with his hammer and tapping places and testing stuff. He said, "This is the biggest waste of time in the world, mate," but he said, "I've still got to do it." Anyway, carried on. He did all the checks as he was supposed to do, and then looked at me and says, "You'll never guess." He said, "It's passed." And that was that. That was it. Off we went. But But it is a little bit heartbreaking when you're using them old style meters and the technician comes out to fit the meters and they get the plastic pullers out and they're pulling the speedo unit out, the radio unit out, the glove box, all that behind there gets pulled out, and they're pushing wires through and fitting fuse in areas and stuff like that. And you think, bloody hell, this has just cost me an absolute fortune. There you go. That was a Vauxhall from Vauxhall dealership. Went to Honda, told them of the issue. They said they'll take it past. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you also used to get, I don't know if you still do, there was one, I'm not going to say any names on here because you never know what people are like, but I've heard one or two people criticise the same place, but I aren't going to mention the name just in case they're listening, because other people may find them fine. But I went up and he said there was something wrong with this car. And he said, it's not passed. He said, it's... Anyway, next thing he's going around the back of the car. So what are you doing? He said, I'm taking the plate off. I said, what are you taking the plate off for? Well, he said, it's passed. So he said, you can't use it as a taxi. I said, I'm not going to use it as a taxi. I'm going to go get it fixed and bring it back. But he says, get it fixed and bring it back then, but I'm still taking the plate off. And he's the only one that's ever done it. And it was something absolutely ridiculous. Maybe if I'd have said to him, you fix it, he'd have maybe done it, maybe been all right. But he was a right buddy. He was right up his own self. And I'm sure one or two of them, they're hunting for work, aren't they? But biggest majority are absolutely fine. I was using one garage that's no longer running. And I found out I did start to get fairly major bills off them. And a lot of things needed changing. And you thought, well, it's an old car, but it's as if they were trying to make this 5-year-old 160,000 mile Skoda into a brand new one, and they were changing everything. You were getting some horrendous bills for the car, and anyway, they've since packed up. But it turned out that the people that were fixing it for you were actually on commission for the parts that they sold. Wow, on the record. That'd be nice. I've never got one over 200,000. Never ever done it. Never managed it. One thing I would do with my Skoda, when this one gets to 100,000 miles, I'm going to change the header tank, because at 165,000 miles, the little powdery thing in the header tank busts and it wrecks all the system. You have to have it all flushed out and then that little radiator changed underneath, whereas if you just change the header tank, you won't have a problem. So that's what I'm going to do. And as soon as it gets 100,000, I'm going to have the header tank changed. Well, that's near enough, isn't it? I've had some horrendous bills. That bloody Cougar nearly killed me, I'll be honest. It nearly did me. I spent 5,000 quid on it in 10 months. And it gets to the stage where all the savings have gone. And, you think, Christ, I can't stand another big breakdown. I just couldn't do it. So I got rid of it. Put my last whatever down as a deposit on this one I've got now. And it's... this one's sweet, to be fair. So we'll keep it going as long as it will. But they do. They're getting. I've never got one. I don't know whether I drive them mad or whether I get fed up with the rattles or I don't know. But that's life, isn't it? But I'd like to, because who wants to keep paying car payments? Nobody, do they? I managed to get the other one paid for, not the Ford, but the other one before that. I got that one paid for and I got another 3 years out of it. And that is a bonus. That's where you can start to build you start to build the business bank up and have some money. My plan was, if we hadn't have had a pandemic, I was actually going to buy my next one cash. But it wasn't possible in the end because the cars went up by about 30% and they were just ridiculous amounts of money. Oh, 400k. I got roped off at that. Didn't wear out at that. Bloody hell. I was watching something the other day, again on TikTok or somewhere, and they were showing you a photograph of this, or a film. And this car was, I think in Greece, it was a Mercedes. They'd just come up to 400,000 kilometres. and it was run 24 hours a day with 2 different drivers. They had to take it off the road. I can't remember how often he said, but they had to take it off the road for a day to get its servicing done, because obviously it was working that hard. That was it. Have you used Acne cabs? Now, we use saloons, Mike, but we've still got Acne cab status. They're still actually classed as a taxi. But because we're in a small area, you would need to generate a lot of income to actually get enough money together to buy a black cab. Them electric ones are up, nigh on 80, 90,000 or something like that. But in a lot of places, little small places, they don't actually force you to have a black cab. There is quite a few places now. I think Retford, which isn't very far away from us, they've got to. I think they've now got to have a disabled access vehicle, which can be a, anything, that Ford Transit, Peugeot, them big Peugeots. They let you use them, the bus type things with the ramps on and that. I actually looked into getting one of them. They're over 40 grand about 7 or 8 years ago. And the trouble is, it's a lot of money to pay back. But the good thing is about them, obviously, you're on your own in a little pod at the front. So if anybody starts to get a bit funny, you've got the protection of that now. They're basically in a shed at the back. There's an interesting podcast on YouTube. I can't remember the guy's name, so it's nearly pointless telling you. But it was a London cab driver, and they were going on about Uber, which they do a lot. And they were just, explaining what it takes to actually become a black cab driver in London, how much money that it costs you. And they find it unfair that a bloke with a sat-nav can actually come and pick your passengers up cheaper than what you can possibly do it at, because of the way you've got to be set up. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, big cities, Sheffield, even Lincoln. They've got black cabs in Lincoln, but with it being a small market town, you wouldn't get your money back. You wouldn't be able to do it. There wouldn't be enough people to, and they're not that keen to getting in them. There was a guy who once bought a one that had come from Manchester, and spent a bit of money, got it going, and he wasn't a bad tool, to be honest. But then I think he got done for something. I actually thought it was a decent lad. He turned out to be a complete knob, but that's life, isn't it? So anyway, there's a couple of people that stayed with me all the way tonight. So it's time to now we've got a few subscribers. We better have a couple of moderators, don't you reckon? That's the only 2 that's going to be. Bill can have one if he wants one. I think Bill's already got one, to be honest. I think Bill's the only guy that's got a moderator as a moderator. So you can be blue from now on. Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, the only thing is with Uber, I will say one thing. I'm not going to slag them off. I've not used them myself. I've used Uber Eats a couple of times because as a cab driver, you just feel that you're putting money in the enemies. How you going, Billy Lee? Nice to see you, Ducky. Thanks for coming in. I forgot you were here. You've been quiet. In my opinion, if they actually managed to get rid of all the competition, then I think you would probably pay through the nose. That's what I'm thinking. Because their fare system can fluctuate depending on how busy they are. And it seems, you're better off, I don't know, are you better off paying £5 for every trip, or £4 for most trips and £20 for one on a different day? Billy Lee's been really quiet, hasn't she? She's been sat there lurking in the background. Anyway, we've done an hour. I think that's amazing for this channel, because I think it's the longest live stream I've ever done. Yeah, they didn't need a DBS check because they said they were a ride share. That's what it was. That's what they used to call it. It was basically somebody giving somebody a lift as they were going past, and they got away with that for a little while, and then the government sort of said to them, look, you're not doing that. There's nobody should be able to pick up a paying passenger in any vehicle that's not had a DBS check, because that should be the way it is. And there's no way it should ever happen. That you should have to be, because you don't know who you're picking up, and these people are paying to get in with you. And if you've got a list of convictions for all sorts of things, you should actually go through a DBS check they should. I mean, really, if you think about it, it's only. I mean, I pay mine through standing order, so my DBS is live all the time. So, for instance, if I want to go to a different council, they'd say, oh, you need a DBS, so there you are, click on that, here it is. So, after you'd had the medical, I could go on to a different council. And same with people working in care homes, they can change jobs a lot quicker now because the DBS is live all the time. You ain't got to wait 4 weeks for it to come back. So there's no reason that anybody that's dealing with the public shouldn't have a DBS check. There's no reason for it. Whether it be public, private hire, bus driver, anybody, because just imagine, I mean, you probably have to have one anyway, Shrek, I don't know, but just imagine you've got a wayward soul driving a bus. His last customer of a night just happens to be a woman. She's 10 mile away from home on these local routes. If they're into that type of thing, that's what they're gonna do, aren't they? So, right, you've had your time. That's amazing to stay on for this amount of time. Oh, you've had one, yeah. CRB, Criminal Records Bureau. We used to do it through the police, and it used to cost 25 quid. Then they invented the DBS thing, didn't they? And my mate's first one took 16 or 18 months. You had to pay him compensation in the end. I had one stuck once, and I just kept leaving it, and the council says, you're going to have to do something about it. So I paid me money. Where is it? Anyway, I rang them up, said, where is it? And it was through in a day. So just goes to show you the made a mistake. Anyway, thanks for watching. Catch you all soon. I'm going to watch the telly and sweat. Catch you later. Bye-bye, everyone. Thanks for coming.